This here is a gaming PC slash build setup and makeover geared towards one main focus, being ready for that Dark Portal opening coming very soon, but with one small caveat. We gotta use a placeholder GPU. Yes, the Dark Portal is coming. And we're only a couple weeks away, so we gotta get this build complete. But let's talk about what we got on the table, because we got a lot going on. First thing I wanna mention is a big thank you to Enermax for sending on over some parts. We got a case, power supply, and liquid cooler that they were graciously to send on over to help complete this build. So thank you again, Enermax, for sending these parts on over. So with that out of the way, I want to talk about what we got here in front of us, and this is going to be a build slash kind of makeover, really just adding some monitors, but my brother is in dire need of a PC makeover. He's actually gaming on a laptop, and he obviously needs a bit of an upgrade. So we've got some parts here for him that are going to make a seriously awesome build. So with that out of the way, basically this video is going to encompass three main aspects. We're going to talk about the parts that we have in front of us, we're going to do a build, and then we're gonna benchmark this PC and see how well it'll be ready for World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade. Alrighty, so let's just jump right into it and let's talk about the first part we have on the list being our processor. We've got a Ryzen 7 3700X, 8-core, 16-thread, operating at 3.6 gigahertz, turboing up to 4.4 gigahertz. Mainly we chose the Ryzen 7 3700X to save some dollars, to not have to go up to the 5000 series processor. We can make that upgrade in the future, which is another reason why we chose AMD over Intel for that upgrade path. So this should get us more than well started for what we're trying to do here on this PC build. So to keep our CPU nice and chill at the coolest temperatures possible, Enermax had sent over their 240mm AIO. This is the Aqua Fusion model. I definitely have no doubts that this will keep our CPU nice and cool and also look really awesome in the process. For a motherboard that we're going to be installing our Ryzen 7 into, we elected to go with a B550 Aorus Elite AX V2. This is a motherboard that is being funded by my brother as well as the processor was, so not something that Enermax sent over. Because it was our own personal choice and I like Aorus, I told him to go pick this up. Really and honestly, it's just more of a preference thing. It's a B550 board, should give us plenty of upgrade path, has plenty of other features along with it that are makings of a good board. But another big thing being wireless, which he needs. So honestly, this ticks all the boxes and will serve us well. And then for memory, we've got 16 gigs of Trident Z Neo by G.Skill, 3600 megahertz, operating at cast latency 16, basically one of the best brands of memory in the industry at this point. And since it was a funded part by my brother, we elected to go with what I know is to be a good brand and what I personally use. So I made the suggestion to pair this memory with his CPU, as I've done so before in the past, knowing that it'll perform very well. So next up for power, again, a part that was sent on over by Enermax. Thanks again, guys. By the way, this is their Cyber Bronze Series power supply. This is 700 watts, 80 plus bronze certified, 5-year warranty. Should be plenty of juice for this build and a future GPU upgrade that hopefully will come soon. All right, so the last couple parts we'll talk about are the big ones here on my left and right, but let's address the elephant in the room, and that being the placeholder GPU, being this GTX 1060 6GB model. So staying near and dear to the theme of the PC Tech Hustle YouTube channel, I managed to hustle my way back into this part, this being a part that I put into a build actually I did for a client months ago as the exact same function we're doing in this build. And that function just being a placeholder, just to get to gaming at a decent experience while we wait for some of the newer cards to become available if we can even get our hands on them. So yes, feel free to roast me in the comments if that's what you got to do, because technically this is a bottleneck being paired with this Ryzen 7, but I know this is a good gaming experience. I'll show you that later in the video, but the idea here is, and the more important idea here is, it completes the build so that way we can get a good gaming experience now. Alrighty, so drama aside, let's talk about the last part that Enermax had graciously sent on over to us, and that being their mid-tower case, the Starry Fort SF30 case. With this case, it's going to be plenty big for us to include all of our parts, and hopefully down the line when we can actually include a upper tier graphics card. But what really caught my eye about this case is they included 4 addressable RGB case fans, and not only is that cool that there's 4 of them and they're RGB and they're included, but they also match the same design of the fans that is on the cooler, so everything's going to tie together and look really nice. That covers the build components, and we got last to talk about these monitors. So as mentioned, remember, my brother is gaming on a laptop. He has no screen real estate. Really, there was two main focuses on us getting some monitors. One, we needed screen real estate. He wanted 2 monitors and he didn't want to break the bank. You can definitely break the bank real quick if you're just buying 1 monitor, let alone 2. So we wanted to keep it cheap, within budget, not spend a ton of money. And we managed to pick up both of these monitors under $400, actually bought direct from Asus, thanks to PC Part Picker for tracking down the part. But we bought these directly from Asus. So these are the Asus Tough Gaming VG24VQ monitors. Basically, as mentioned, it's a 24-inch monitor. Its resolution is 1080p, which, yeah, I mean, we're not gaming at 1440p and above, but again, remember, we're really focusing on playing World of Warcraft, and my brother doesn't care so much to be gaming at the highest fidelity ever. He's just looking for good gaming performance. So these monitors are definitely going to deliver and give him that screen real estate he's been dying to have. So that covers the components in this build. What more to do here now is to get it all put together, benchmark, and just see how well this placeholder GPU performs. Alrighty, let's get this power cable connected and we are done. Who's that? I wasn't expecting anybody. Oh, hey, what's going on, man? Oh, sweet, yeah, cool. Wasn't expecting this. Yeah, you too, man. Have a great day. We got a package. 3070, baby. Woo! Well, so much for a placeholder build. Alrighty, guys, so before you rip me in the comments, yes, I did know this 3070 was coming. Obviously, that was a bit of a cringy little skit there, but yeah, I knew this was coming. I've actually been in the EVGA system for 7 months. So I actually had given up all hope until a buddy of mine reached out and said he got one of his. So then I've been checking rigorously, trying to see if I got one. And just the other day, actually now probably over a week ago at this point, I got a notification that I had a buy link for this 3070 and obviously had to jump on that immediately. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it, and we were going to do this build as the placeholder build, and that is the whole purpose of this video, and we're still going to stick to that. But now with the 3070 in the picture and available, I asked my brother, hey, you want to spend another 700 bucks on basically one of the top tier graphics cards, minus 3080, 3090, you know? And he basically just said, all right, let's do it. So yes, the original intent was everything minus this 3070. So I want to stay true and dear to you guys on that. So we are going to benchmark it both with a 1060, something that you may be able to go get in terms of all the other modern components that are involved with this build, and then a used graphics card that maybe hopefully you can get a decent deal on, and then have a kind of an established idea of where you sit. Obviously, there's a bottleneck with the GPU here. I know it, I know it, I know it. But if you can then get lucky like I did, I got lucky, like I said, I waited 7 months. So we got one. So what we'll do is we'll do a cross comparison. I'll just put up charts on all the benchmarks that we run and let you see how much your system can wake up if you're doing a placeholder build like this with other modern components and you finally get your hands on something like this. So with all that said, let's get this build buttoned up. We're just about done. Let's get the 3070 in there, and then we'll rip it out and put the 1060 back in and do benchmarks and cross compare. Let's cut over the remaining part of the build montage here and follow that up with some benchmarks. Alrighty guys, so there we have the EnerMax GPU placeholder build that I'm calling, and this definitely is probably one of the sexiest looking builds I've done on the channel, up there with one of the sexiest, and definitely also up there with one of the most powerful. So check down in the links below. Thanks again to EnerMax for sending on over the case, power supply, and cooler. If you guys want to recreate the build, I'll have all those parts listed down below in the description. So I'd have to say this video is pure definition of what it's like to get out there and hustle for those parts, get it into a PC build like this, and get a good gaming experience. Clearly the benchmarks speak for themselves in terms of what the 1060 is capable of, but if you're willing to get out there and hustle, you can find some GPUs. I've been able to find these two GPUs here pretty recently, even through all the craziness that's going on, for good prices. There's still some decent people out there. If you do have the cash ready and you're wanting to build up a PC like this, but you're reluctant to do so because you think you can't get your hands on a good graphics card, this should be a prime example of what you can do in the meantime. But aside from all that guys, if you stuck with the video this long and you did enjoy it, make sure you give it a like on the way out. Consider subscribing if you're not already for more awesome PC content like this. Thanks for tuning into this one. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.